And here we are together again. We're down here in the bottom of the screen for now as we enter Campbell's Corner on a Friday night. Mr. Campbell, aka Boo Berry, welcome back again, sir.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
A mutual pleasure, and we won't go into details, right? Just in generalities, Boo Berry and I were formal colleagues, worked in the same building, worked in the same occupation. Since then, we've each moved on in a way, but it is a customary, it is a welcome thing to be back again conversing with Jim Campbell on a Friday. Let's check comments because Fanboy Cantina gets there first with a let's go. Chai Star with a let's go. Chai Star double pumps the comment section with a Booberry exclamation point. Oh, and Junkyard gets in on the act, going, and Junkyard is in the house. Speaking of Junkyard, our featured topic tonight, the Alex Ross Heroes and Villains exhibit at the Dunn Museum, which we will affectionately refer to as in the territory of Junkyard, in Junkyard Yard. We're taking Campbell's Corner into Junkyard Yard. So, Mr. Camp, let me first scroll a bit, and then I'll bring us bigger back up because you had the good fortune to be there on the opening night and the premiere. But little be known, did not even realize that right now, if somebody this actual weekend, as it says here, between January 29 of 2026 and February 1 of 2026, in addition to the actual art pieces exhibit, there is also the airing of the Legend of Kingdom Come documentary. It says right here, the documentary is approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes long and will be playing during normal business hours. The documentary is free with museum admission. So let's start with that. Mr. Campbell, have you seen this documentary? Did you have any knowledge of this documentary? And now that we've highlighted it, let me come back around and bring us up to full size here.
I knew there was a documentary. I thought it came out last summer on, I don't know what streaming service, but no, I have not seen the documentary, but no, I have nothing to say, really. Sorry, I haven't seen it yet.
All right, well, upon learning of said documentary makes me think tomorrow, Saturday, I might be spending some time back at the Dunn Museum in Libertyville to take another gander at the Alex Ross art exhibit. But since you had the good fortune, since the schedule worked out for you, you were there opening night. Alex Ross himself was there opening night. Can you regale us with any tales of your interaction with Mr. Ross himself?
I will try to. So it's weird. It was June 28th. It was really good. So he had all his art. I had no idea he had that many. It really does. Seeing it up close and personal, you really have a new appreciation for his art. Just his. It's interesting too because one of the things as I was walking around, I noticed, for example, Iron Man is silver and shiny, reflective. Then you look at Doctor Doom, and you would think he is. It's more steel and iron. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is he really understands texture. And texture. I mean, it's really amazing. And then also, not only is he able to paint silver and like metallic reflective, he does it with like some of his characters, like Iron Man, when he's doing the gold and the red, it's reflective red and yellow. So he's just not doing silver reflective, he's doing different color reflective.
You're opening with Iron Man and Doctor Doom, and let me stab now also the X-Man known as Colossus, who is billed as being organic steel. So then you got the Silver Surfer, who has a coating upon his once human flesh to allow for travel through space. So you got your Iron Man, your Doom, the different ways that Alex Ross conceives of and displays metallic varieties of metallic properties. Like it's not just like Colossus doesn't look exactly like Doctor Doom,
Right.
doesn't look like Silver Surfer. From character to character, by whatever his vehicles are, but whatever his uh, affectations are, he distinguishes from picture to picture, from portrait to portrait, and it makes the exhibit all the more impressive.
Yeah, that was a neat thing too. He also I like um so my big takeaway, if I could just tell my quick Alex Ross story. When I was so they had a meet and greet with him. So we're all, just waiting in line, and I happened to be at the line where it was next to the Fantastic Four. Maybe that's why I'm also in my head thinking about the Fantastic Four. But like I said, you see that he's able to do all these different types of textures, like the Human Torch. You can see the fire, and the Thing. You really do believe that's a rock, a man made of rocks. And for Mr. Fantastic, his outfit was spandex, but you could see you could tell it was spandex. I was like, how is he doing this stuff with paint? And then like Sue Storm, you could see through or part of it. So it just the things he does, I was like, wow, it's really amazing. There you go. I mean, you can tell that's spandex. And yep.
And let me say, everybody, so plan A had been to have behind me my home TV with a connection to the phone. So it must be something wrong in my own brain that when Jim comes around to co-host, that somehow I managed to have a higher rate of technical difficulties compared to other times. But we say this to say, please do check out the Fanboy Cantina channel video of the Alex Ross exhibit, which was a great capturing of that. And maybe we'll come back later and borrow from Fanboy Cantina to promote watching the museum pieces, the art pieces via the Fanboy Cantina channel. But let me trade spots with you here, and you have an actual artifact from the actual
Artifact. Yes. So I believe you were there the opening night. The cat. You got a print that was signed by him. Hopefully I can. All right.
Let me get the fanboy thanks out of the way so we can fully absorb. Oh wow, that's all the DC villains there. That's
You can see Darkseid up top, and I didn't notice at first on the left is Zoom or Reverse Flash. We're going to call him Sinestro, and this is it Star Sapphire, Mantis. Yeah,
you got your Dr. Sivana right there, and you got Luthor and Brainiac like they're roommates there with Mixpatol. Cheetah's taking up some pieces. So his composition kind of maybe like a photographer, kind of, but an arranger of space, somebody manipulating three-dimensional pieces, and he often does use 3D models in it. But just the way from row 1 to row 2 to back row and such, the way he layers out and interweaves the characters, it's another outstanding feature of the man's art.
Yeah, it's interesting too, for me at least. I don't feel like you really see a lot of Man Bat, so I thought that was an interesting choice.
Yeah, and a flushed out and a more full face than other renditions, than other iterations we've seen of Man Bat, but looking good, and all this in black and white.
Yeah. One thing I find a little strange now that I'm looking at it, it looks like Lex Luthor has a little papoose with a Mitzelplick on his chest. Which I don't know if it just seems of all the people, he's carrying his little baby. So
I don't think they'd have that closer relationship in physical proximity or an emotional proximity. So that I'll say it's some good comedic creativity on the part of Mr. Ross.
So I got that. That was great. I got to meet Mr. Ross. Mr. Ross. He was very nice. I get you a little picture here.
There it is. Whoa. He a little looking like the Flash colors himself in a suit and all.
I was wondering about that. It's very interesting. So, he was a nice guy. It's funny. When it came time for myself to meet him, I mentioned something about how looking at his Flash, I had never seen the Flash drawn in such a way that's really scary. And we had this big conversation, or actually he educated me, I should say, in a nice way, about how apparently back in the day with the Fantastic Four, the Marvel people wanted Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, to be a breakout character. And that's why they always tried to pair him up. If you remember him, he and Spider-Man always had like a weird friendship. I never quite understood what maybe because they're both from New York. They're both around the same age,
Both
but
New York and kind of the same age. And that was, I guess, one example of the greater interconnectivity, if you will, the universe building in Marvel, that you'd get brief cameos of Thor flying through, a Fantastic Four issue or what have you. So given that Peter Parker and Johnny Storm are roughly the same age, they were trying to capitalize on that opportunity to connect. Spider-Man would have a full guest star issue within the Fantastic Four. There were even all kinds of things, but then it was anyway. So yeah, it was cool that you got to speak to Alex Ross himself, and then he peeled back the curtain that Johnny Storm was supposed to be the breakout character, when maybe definitely it ended up to be more the ever-loving clobber in time Benjamin J. Grimm, the Thing. Did he have any other insights or what else was in your conversation with Alex Ross?
What actually, so the way I came upon, what's to say, my mind is really blown with Original Legends. I remember seeing those way back. That was my first introduction to him. I remember seeing like pictures of Spider-Man and Human Torch in New York City, like on the cover of those. Weren't they like see-through too or something at one point? Like clear plastic on the Marvel, the comic book.
On the actual comic covers, was there
like a see-through something?
Second cover, if you will, so it was a layered image.
Yeah.
Yes, again, I'm just significantly out of reach that I could bring to the camera the example of which you speak. But yeah, so again, the medium enhancing the imagery.
Yeah. So when I met him, I wanted so that I always remember his art in my mind, and then I remember years later I bought an album by a band, and here's the album cover. And he actually
let me have you go big again. My gosh.
So I have some more of he has done about 4 Anthrax album covers. So that's one of them. That was I think it's called Captain Thrash, or obviously based on Captain America. And this is another album of theirs, but you can definitely tell his artwork. Okay.
Yeah,
because he so Alex Ross lives in Illinois, and I believe the drummer for the band lives in Illinois too. So I just asked him, "Hey, are you going to make any more album covers?" And we just kind of chatted about. He says, "I haven't heard from those guys," so I don't think that's on the horizon. But it was funny, actually. I don't know. I was asking him, like, "Oh, so are you making a new album cover?" And he's like, "I haven't heard anything." And I said, "Yeah, like I said, I really like your 3 album covers." And he said, "I thought I did 4." And I said, and I said, "No, I think you did 3." And then later on, I was like, he was totally right. I'm like trying to tell Alex Ross, no, you did 3, not 4. I'm like, later on, I was like, he's probably like, who is this? But I think I was probably the only person who asks him about Anthrax.
So you thought it was 3 album covers.
It was really, he corrected me, and I said, no.
So you corrected him.
Yes.
In conversation with him on the opening night of his own art.
I had to let him know that I know his work more than he does. And as driving home, I was like, "Oh, he was right."
And
I don't know why. It was just, I remember him just making a funny face, like, "I thought I did 3." I'm like, 4. I'm like, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "No." But I can't say enough. He was just really nice, and I never felt like he was trying to rush me through. And I think he really just enjoyed talking about. From what I gathered, he just really enjoys talking about comic books and art, and he knows a lot about it. I was like, because he was talking about like Strange Tales, also an old comic book that you used to see, like Doctor Strange and the Human Torch, and so he definitely knows his history. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, he lives in the space, as they say. It's his constant it's his constant focus to be in the Marvel universe, the DC universe, the independent heroes. He had a high reverence for. So his current logo appears as kind of two lightning bolts, somewhat in the shape of the letter A. His previous logo was based on the Flash Gordon movie logo. So he's deep in all of this stuff in the best of ways. Um, it's just good stuff.
It was good. It was a good time had by all. So you went there as well, correct?
So I attended with Fanboy G, with TriStar
Oh,
G, another time with Junkyard. So I've been a couple times, and as TriStar was noting, and I thank you for pitching that for me to lead me in the subject matter. So then TriStar was like, at any kind of a museum, right? At peak hours, if it's crowded, you want to see the stuff, but then social obligation calls for you to move along and let somebody else see what's coming and going. But so, as TriStar was noting, we had the run of the place all to ourselves. We were able to stop and soak in any single art piece as much as we wanted, and it was the freedom from crowding, the freedom from background noise. So let me pop over to Fanboy's comment. How long is the exhibit? So the exhibit, in our original intention, was to catch it before it closed, and the closing date is February 16th. So as we sit here now on January 30th, right? So, and we're at the nighttime. The museum's closed for the night already. So we're about 2 weeks and 2 days left of the exhibit. But as we inadvertently stumbled into the circumstance that for any Dunn Museum attender for this current weekend, tomorrow, Saturday through Sunday through the 1st, the free documentary in addition to the actual art pieces. So this is an outstanding weekend to go and check it out. That calls the question also, Mr. Campbell, if we can stray from the source material just a bit.
sure.
If that brings us to the 1st, then of course the following day will be the 2nd. February 2nd will be Groundhog. Do you have a Groundhog Day prediction at this time? Will the shadow be seen? Will the shadow not be seen?
I do not have a prediction, but it's funny. My friend lives up in Woodstock or / Crystal Lake. So I go up there all the time. He actually proposed to his wife in the gazebo
In the gazebo.
Yeah, which is funny. I did not know that growing up that was even filmed there. But I don't know what's going on. Sure, it'll be cold. That's all. That's my prediction.
My prediction is it's very tricky to predict the behavior. Are groundhogs rodents? Are they something else? Are they in a different category?
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know.
Man. All things being the same, again, I apologize for the technical difficulties, but now let me see if I can transfer without technical difficulty, as we have Fanboy G right here watching along. Let me hit the share screen and stops. Here. Now I got to try to, flip around there. Okay, so let me come here and now go back to share screen, hit share screen again, come to, all right. Now, and again, we're just playing a clip here, a little.
Of Alex Ross, Heroes and Villains at the Dunn Museum. This is the Fanboy Cantina. Today's video takes us to Libertyville.
So do check out directly that same video on the Fanboy Cantina channel. If you can, find your way into the Dunn Museum. Fanboys letting us know that groundhog is a rodent. If anybody in the comment section wants to make any Groundhog Day predictions, if anybody in the comment section has been to the exhibit and wants to comment on it, if anybody has seen the documentary inside or outside of the exhibit, please do leave your comments. Mr. Campbell, Boo Berry, any further pieces of business to contend to before we wrap it up here?
When's your next live stream? That's always the big question.
TriStar, you see what he did there? Hey, TriStar, you see what he did there? He took your line. I do not know when, but as I mentioned last time TriStar was on as co-host, Oh. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
It's right. Svengoolie has the Berwyn and all the other sound clips. And us around here, we have Chai-Star leading the charge with when is the next live stream. So when, I'm not sure. But topic matter, I got to get circulating around now that the DVD came for Vampire Zombies from Space, independent horror comedy. So I can review it on my own, but if any of the rest of us get a look at it, he asked as I was typing, great minds think alike. It is like a chorus of mixed media. It is a verbally articulated and typographically articulated question simultaneously. It's a beautiful thing. So I do want to get back to Vampire Zombies from Space coming soon. Who knows? Maybe I'll shoot live from the museum tomorrow if I can get there. But other subjects coming soon. Chai-Star, you got a minute to check out Simon Williams' Wonder Man? Early thoughts?
When's that come out?
Just 2 days ago. And of course, I don't know if I'll be able to pull the picture that quickly, but we do because the character portrayed by Ben Kingsley, the character known as Trevor Slatery, who was also then
the Green Mandarin.
The Mandarin. We look forward to catching up with our mysterious collaborator and viewer, the Mandarin, regarding the appearance of the Mandarin in the Wonder Man show. Can't remember what I watched. That's a perfect Chai-Star comic relief answer.
Have you seen the episodes yet?
I saw the first one,
and
I'll just say there's consistent with the character of the Mandarin. What's going on here? Is this what it appears to be? Are things not what they appear to be? This seems like, is there, some subterfuge going on? I'll say no more until we're going to have a proper conversation to cover the subject matter. But I'll say I enjoyed it. I'll say it was well written. I'll say it was clever. I'll say I look forward to seeing the rest of the episodes.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you to Junkyard and Fanboy G and Chai-Star G for jumping in. As I said in the opening, back in the day, there wouldn't be a Friday that would go by, maybe at the Subway sandwich place at lunchtime, maybe at the gas station, getting a snack bar and a drink together in the office that we had shared at that point in time. But it's always good to the Booberry Cat strikes again. Always good to keep consistent, to hang out with Booberry with Jim Campbell on a Friday. Let me and we had Nicole Barbigel and once again the art from Nicole is also just out of range to pull. But Nicole's art a little bit different from the Alex Ross art, but all of it good to check out. I'm winding us down. Thanks for coming, everybody. And who knows when we'll be back, but we got plenty of good material to speak on coming again soon. And we are out. Here we go. And thanks, everybody.
Okay.